Yeah, so as I was saying, there are some words that you can use. You can read more about it. They're known as Boolean operators or something like that. So you can sometimes use them to optimize your searches. You can say endophytes, and then okay, here it will give you everything about endophytes, and then you can now put a capital and maybe say Africa. And then now it will only give you publications that talk about endophytes in Africa. So occurrence of fungal endophytes from South Africa. You can see this one also of Trichoderma Africa, endophytes, Africa wild rice, endophytes from Africa rice. So you optimize your search like that. So just use two words like that. But this one, if it should be capital so that it the search engine recognize it as a Boolean operator. Or you can say sometimes you can also use the word or, maybe to give you, maybe you can say endophytes, or for example now specific plant, can talk about neem. So it will give you only publications that speak about either endophytes or neem, but maybe not that speaks about both. And then sometimes you can exclude, you can say endophytes, and then say you exclude Asia. So it will also give you publications about endophytes, but nothing. Right. Okay, it will give you about endophytes and include Asia. Normally that one is supposed to exclude, the minor sign supposed to exclude. Or sometimes, maybe if you know a scientist, you can also normally sometimes just type their name, and then it will give you all the. I don't know if Betsy is official name. Let me just use like that. For example, I hope you can just use me as an example if I have any publications. Sometimes you can just type the name of a scientist whose papers you want, yeah, and then all the publications from that scientist can come in the years he did. So, yeah. So those are, you can search for a paper based on the author, that is the scientist you want to read, whose work you want to read, or you can use those Boolean. You can read about them. There are not many. There are and or the minor sign in title. You can also use in title so that it will give you papers with that word phrase you typed as part of their title. So in title, maybe say endophytes and maybe milia or neem, then it makes your work easier. Then now back to where we were. I think last time we exhausted these parts of video and methods, most of the video from Neda and Cody, unless someone has something to add. But from my side, I think we tackled this very well the other time. So, and we agreed that that is what we will do with our samples when we come from the field. Then, and then this is that scientific paper. So collection theme, fieldwork, microbe isolation, reactive assays. So these are just maybe things that can pique your curiosity or your interest as you maybe you choose to pursue this field of science in endophytes. Maybe you'll enjoy the fieldwork the most, and maybe that is what you'll be looking forward to. Maybe you'll enjoy writing the reports, and maybe you'll enjoy the lab work, microbial isolation. Maybe you'll enjoy bioactivity assays. Personally, that's what I enjoy, to look at whether secondary metabolites or maybe purification. Some of that might do today during DNA isolation, part of purification or chemical analysis. Again, that one is to look at the secondary metabolites. So normally, sometimes they're put in very simple ways to connect with your artistic inner self. You see, if it's in a cartoon like that, then yeah, it brings out the curiosity. So I really don't know what Betsy had in mind to discuss here, but I believe it is just to pick into your interest and ask you what interests you the most. So maybe you can, all of us can say what interests us the most, and maybe what really raises our curiosity or piques our interest as we think about pursuing this line of research. Madison?
I was interested in the purification process, the PCR and the barcoding.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't.
But just
I
as
thought
it
that
interests you.
Yeah, I thought the field work would be really fun. I just like the hands-on portion
Alright.
of things.
So you're yet to experience that. So okay, hope it meets your expectation of fun and yeah. Cool. Sarah?
The micro isolation is the part that interests me the most.
Alright.
I'm excited to do it.
Interesting. Yes.
I'm more interested in the field work because when you get to the field, there's always something new you can learn.
Alright.
Okay, so micro isolation is what I look forward to the most because I learned it in microbiology last year and it really interests me.
Okay. Yeah.
I also look forward to bioactivity assays, purification, and chemical analysis because I've never done this before. So I look forward to learning them and getting some new skills.
Awesome.
Yeah, for me it's the chemical analysis. I think it's the epitome of everything. I find it as a basis for discovery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the most important thing, or the most interesting thing, is that at the end of the day, all these are important. So even if in future you go on your own different career paths, you'll find that at some point you'll converge because now you'll need the specialized in microbial isolation. At the end of the day, you who loves microbial isolation, you will end up becoming an expert in maybe identification, uh, culture recording, or so you. And then the ones who are interested in bioactive acids will always call you, hey, do you have this culture? I want to work on this. So at the end of the day, you need each other, and they are all important to achieve that main goal at the end. So no particular area is not as important as the other. Fieldwork again, very also very interesting, very important. But again, for fieldwork, what I've discovered with fieldwork, you need to have a personality that is beyond science because you'll be interacting with so many people. You need to know how to talk to people, tolerate maybe some things you really don't like for the purpose of the bigger picture. So fieldwork, Miss Brown, you need to understand that fieldwork you need to have that outgoing character sometimes. And of course, that is different personality. So for fieldwork, I discovered the key is that how will you interact with people, how will you talk to locals, and from everywhere in the world, you need to be able to go to any country, uh, quickly adjust yourself to their culture maybe, and know how you interact with them, how you talk to them. For example, if you go maybe to maybe the Middle East, Asian countries, maybe quickly also maybe you need to maybe be able to put on an hijab, for example, without thinking so much about it. Do your field work, go back. So such like things of field work, I find that your personality also must be or should be going. For introverts like me, for example, we enjoy much more microbial isolation and yeah, the bioactivity assays because sometimes you don't want to go there, but they are all important. Okay. Student directed discovery research and the world in discovery and research. Yeah. So yeah, and of course here we have like all those. The first frame, the picture A, that is fieldwork. So Miss Brown and Fossa, this is where you belong. And then picture 2, almost everybody else, because now the analysis, isolation are all in the lab. And then picture 3, that one is now, as she said the other time, the endophyte growing straight from the leaf. And then picture 4, more or less some of the things we were dealing with yesterday. Yeah, I think, all right. So, sorry. So I think she mentioned this last time, that she proposes that when you go out there, and you will be going to a place called Kilifi. Kilifi is in the coastal region of Kenya. So if there is time, you also maybe go and swim in the Indian Ocean, or maybe, I don't know, if that is part of your itinerary.
What's it called?
Kilifi.
I'm sorry.
K and then I
L-I.
Lifi.
Oh, it's really great.
Yeah, you see, when again when we spell sometimes the vowels, some you might pronounce them differently. Like A, some people say A as you say A, or U. Some people say U. So Ki and I for import. Let me see. Yeah. Then L, Kilifi. And then you also be going to a place called, I think, Makueni. So I think the idea is that in each site you ideally find 3 trees of one species, neem, and if possible 3 trees of melia. Understandably, in a site this may be less. Then for each tree we collect 3 leaves of our endophyte for endophyte work, then perhaps more leaves for Dr. Peng and Dr. Ag. So from each tree, 3 leaves. And then from each leaf, so we can just go through this, but I think then I'll synthesize this into a stepwise procedure. From each leaf, from the endophyte, we will cut, surface sterilize, and place 24 pieces of leaf tissue. All right. So that idea that I had earlier of pure cultures might not be what is expected of us. So we plate leaf tissue. This one makes your life very easy. These tissues could be plated on either a malt extract agar or potato dextrose agar. Perhaps we could do 2 plates of malt extract, each with 8 pieces, and 1 of PDA, each with 8 pieces. Actually, I was sent some instruction yesterday that they need to maybe prepare malt extract agar. But I think it's the same procedure. It is just the way you put in an autoclave, and then I think that's done. So I thought that I assume that it is something that will not be challenged. If I ask today to prepare malt extract agar, just show me the media, the scale, the autoclave, the the bottle, and then that's it, right? Or is there anyone who might need assistance in preparation of media?
I've never done it before, so maybe some hands-on.
All right.
But that day we were preparing media.
I've made media before.
We made media before. No problem. We will prepare some malt extracts agar together then in that case. But basically, it's the easiest thing you can do in the lab because you just weigh the media. The instructions are on the manufacturer's pack. You just weigh the media. So we need a scale, calibrated scale for that matter. The media itself, some distilled water, and the autoclave. And that's that. All right. So so you need to have a plan of about this. So we need to make maybe the slants.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever made the slants? The small slants? You made the slants?
Especially in microbiology.
Okay. So you will make some from both PDA and malt extract agar. That should be simple. But what we really need to think about is the collection of these samples from the trees because it might involve climbing the tree. So, do you have tree climbers amongst us?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. So then in that case, then you can also think about that area you're going. Then if you climb up the tree, then maybe the clothing should be appropriate for tree climbing, preferably a trouser, not a skirt. Yeah. In Kenya, we don't have any restrictions. There is no you can put on or basically whatever you want. Like, of course, maybe not don't walk naked, but we've seen some people walk almost, yeah. Nobody cares, yeah. At least, and but now if you are to climb a tree, and probably there'll be people below under the tree, so advisory to maybe put on a trouser and maybe shoes that can also. So thanks, Madison. She's volunteering to help us get the samples at the topmost canopy area of the tree.
Cool.
All right. So you do rock climbing. No, you do. It's called not rock climbing, mountain climbing.
No, I just like if I see a tree that I could potentially climb, I just climb it. Why
Okay.
not?
Perfect. So yeah, we will really rely on your tree climbing skills of this one, because preferably you need to take top canopy or from the very top of the tree if it's possible. Safety, yeah,
Yeah.
as far as it's possibly safe.
Yeah, of course,
Please.
I'm not trying to.
Yeah, and then because you not have any safety net below the tree, you not have any safety gears. Yeah, so there's evidence. Oh, perfect. All right, perfect. Good, good, good. But probably you will also get some people locally to maybe help also who can really climb to the very top of the tree. So yeah, but plan B. Yeah, so I think this one I'll discuss with Dr. Ann later, and maybe Sheila, Professor Sheila, when she comes back. But it is not difficult to get. So from each site, we need at least 6 trees, 3 million and 3 neem. So I hope it will be possible, and probably trees that are also not maybe very close to each other. So when we talk about a site, we need to define what do we mean, how large is a site. So is it just any place called Kilifi can be site 1, or maybe 2 sites within Kilifi? So I think maybe those ones we can also discuss with her so that the sampling is also scientifically robust. But this 3 by 3 is okay, because normally in science, you can never work unless you have at least 3 replicates. So if you have 3 samples from one tree, that is scientifically sound or scientifically robust. And then now from each leaf, you will end up having 24 pieces. So from one tree, then you'll end up having 24 times 3, which is it 72 or something? Yeah, 72. Okay. Therefore, for each collection site, 2 pieces neem melia, 3 trees, 3 leaves, 2 plates of of MAE, maximum 36 plates, 2 species neem melia, 3 trees, 1 leaf PTA, 18 plates. So I'm going to assume that not always we find both species. Okay. We will find them. We will find. Okay, the thing is, what I know is that we might find in one site, you might find maybe neem only, and maybe no melia. And the other site, you can find melia only, and maybe you might not find neem. So that is possible. But in Makueni, you are likely to find both of them. Do you have neem in thick as well? I think we have. So you'll always find them alongside each other.
But I know there's some place.
In Makueni, I know you'll find both. In Thika, I'm not so sure. In Kilifi, I'm sure about neem. Actually, I'll suggest that we might also develop a questionnaire of sorts, whereby you ask locals what they use the tree for, what is the cultural, is there any cultural, yes. So I think you might have to develop, but it needs to be maybe one questionnaire. So we need to agree on the questions, and then maybe share before you ask. We maybe share with us so that we can also just ensure that they are toned or they are maybe culturally accepted, because we are going into the village, So cultural appropriateness is not the most important thing, but we just don't want to go there and then maybe we don't we end up maybe not agreeing. Maybe the owner of the tree just want to leave everyone happy as we found them, or maybe happier than before we found them. So part of that includes that cultural appropriation, but it is nothing difficult or nothing different. Nobody does expect you to be to not be yourself. Yeah, but of course down there you might struggle to communicate with people. People might not really uh, understand what you're saying at first. So if someone asks you to come again, and you might also struggle to hear what someone is saying, so you need to listen carefully and maybe uh, normally what you do so that you are understood locally is just if you can reduce the speed of not like completely say one word but just try to reduce the speed a little bit, then because sometimes because of that cultural difference the words you pronounce very fast people might not yeah, so don't like say one word. In Kenya right now, I think everybody at least has basic education, and the education is in English and Swahili. So people will pretty much understand. There's Netflix, so people watch movies. So I think people will pretty much understand. But yeah, even the old guys nowadays can, yeah. And then you maybe need to learn a few one or two Swahili words so that you say jambo or habari. And then yeah, that's it. It's not compulsory, but it will be nice. Okay, let's discuss with the team how many sites we target. So I think this is a discussion for maybe Anne and Sheila about the sites and the targets, and so I think maybe this is a discussion for them. But from our point, we prefer in one site at least 3 trees of neem and milia, and then how many sites in total? 10 sites. Okay, I think that is possible. So in Kilifi, maybe you can do 3 sites. In Makueni, another 3 sites, then or 4 sites in Makueni, and then maybe 3 sites in Thika, or thereabout. Or in Kilifi, 5 sites in Makueni, 5 sites. Still possible. Okay. Yeah, so I think as soon as we get the protocol, I'll share it with you, the sampling protocol, and then we'll also prepare for Sandwich. We'll try to get what is needed, the equipment we need, the pen knives, the scissors to cut the leaves from the trees and whatnot. It should be interesting. It should be interesting. Yeah. Any question? And I hope it's on Monday, though we've been told that, but I hope it's on Monday so that at least Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then on Thursday, you're in the lab, isolating, not necessarily isolating, but now we know we plate the leaves. So we'll be in the lab to plating the leaves, preparing the leaf samples, also the 24. Yeah. Do you have our protocols for this work from the videos? Do you send them?
From the Nita and
Yes.
Cody?
Yeah, I think maybe also need to send them to me so that from all of them, just develop one that we all use. Yeah.
Do you want us to just send you all the answers that we sent to Dr. Betsy, or just?
I think just the protocols, because that is what I'll work on, to just make one protocol for all of them, but they were pretty good for all the groups. So that at least when we come back we have it printed out, then we can just use it to do the work. But before that, I think tomorrow we also need to do some media preparation to malt extract and the PDA, and probably even slants, just to make a few slants already. Though they are shipping the slants to us, I guess, but if you can learn how to make them, you can still learn how to make them.
So once we get our samples and we come back to the lab, we are preparing them on the plates too, or just the snake and the seeds.
I think you'll prepare some on the plate, also the ones that will be left here. But the ones that will go, so we'll have samples that will remain at University of Nairobi, samples that will go to Arizona, and then plant material for Anne and Pen. Yeah, so Anne and Dr. Pen. So I spoke to her, and she said that she will prefer the actual leaf in its totality, not the small pieces. The 24 pieces, those ones will also go to Arizona. So material to go, things to go to Arizona, we'll have slants with the leaf pieces, one leaf piece inoculated on them. We also have leaf pieces, cut 24 pieces of cedar, nicely packaged. That one goes to Arizona. We also have leaves for Anne that are in brown papers that are supposed to be dry for Anne. And then we also have plates for the University of Nairobi. So it's a lot of work.
So how should we split this up? Like,
it is very simple because if you have the slants with this, the hood, and then you have the plate, and then you have the setup. So when you are maybe preparing the slant, just put one leaf material in the slant. At the same time, you can place also one leaf tissue on the plate, the University of Nairobi. At the same time, take 24 pieces in the setup, and then it's done. But it might mean that
just one leaf for the plates for Nairobi? Like one leaf? You said just one leaf?
No, the number of replicates will be the same. Maybe on a plate, maybe 4 pieces of leaf tissue.
Okay.
And then one piece will go to the slant for Arizona. 24 other pieces will go in the setup for Arizona as well. Yeah. And then maybe 4 tissues, one plate for that particular leaf sample. So leaf 1 from tree 1, we have one plate, University of Nairobi. We have one slant, Arizona, and the setup, whatever, Arizona. Done. Madison, and then the next person. So you might actually need to use 2 biological safety cabinets so that we work concurrently. Yeah. So that one needs to get repaired, and then the one we're going to use today might also need to use it at that time when they come from the field, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
All right.
Victor, I think I'm a bit confused. Just go back to the previous slide.
All right.
That part from each leaf, this 24 pieces and this 8 pieces. I think I'm
24 pieces.
So you'll split the 24.
I don't know.
So here, okay, 2 pieces, 2 species, okay, sorry, 2 species, neem and milia, all right?
This other side, from each leaf for the endophytes, we would cut, surface, sterilize.
Okay, so here, this one is very simple, yeah? Here, talk about this part. So, we have our first name here in Kilifi, Madison on top of it, yeah? She's given us she's given us the leaf from the top and 2 other leaves. Tree 1, let us call it tree 1, Kilifi. From this tree we have 3 leaves. All right. So from leaf number 1, we call it top, or from sunlight, top or part of the canopy. From that leaf, we will cut that leaf, all right, to give us 24 pieces of tissue, or more. Actually, if you look at the protocol from who's cutting the leaf, was it Cody or
It was Nita.
Nida? If you look at the protocol from Nida, one leaf, you'll cut it, you'll sterilize it, cut it, it will give us more than 24 pieces. Now, but you can also cut it, just give you these 24 pieces. But remember, we need more, so we'll cut it to give you more than 24 pieces. So from that one leaf, 24 pieces, or approximately 24 pieces, goes into the setup. All right? 1 piece goes onto the slant, and maybe 4 pieces will go onto a plate that will be left here.
So we'll just go below. Perhaps we will use.
Okay, these tissues could be plated on could be. All right, let us underline this. Tissues could be plated on malt extract or PDA. Perhaps we could do 2 plates of malt extract, each with 8 pieces, and 1 plate of PDA with 8 pieces for each set of 24 pieces. But remember, all this, she's saying can be done what? It's a suggestion. So we need to clear this with Priscilla and Anne and even Betsy herself. So the final protocol should be take place. So this could be and perhaps means it is not necessarily, it is a suggestion, which of course will be taken into consideration as we come up with the final protocol. All right. So we look at what is possible, what is possible, and what will really ensure that we still achieve the objective. But of course, this idea is not bad of maybe having both malt extract and PDA, because there are some maybe that might prefer, there are some microbes that might prefer malt extract, others PDA. So for me personally, I agree with this, that we have both that comes out of there. So this one will be still, it will be fine tuned, but I think we'll get clearance from Prof. Sheila and Anne about this. However, you can also, if you really want to stick to this, you can also, your input is also welcomed on this. But personally, I'm considering what you can do, because time is also very limited. This is a lot of work. And also, if you remember, you're using inoculating video that you need to burn after every, this is a lot of work. To even get to 36 plates plus 18. So we'll see how you can make this possible, or what you will do. Some people will do, malt extract. Some people will do PDA. So we'll streamline that one with the protocol. Okay. So again, areas, Kilifi is somewhere down there, coastal region, Makueni, somewhere around here. Actually, most of the neem and the media in Kenya, they are found growing along the tropical savanna climate. Because Kilifi has tropical savanna climate, though Makueni has this warm semi-arid climate. So at least we get neem from this climatic condition, warm semi-arid. You'll get neem from tropical savanna. And then Thika has monsoon. So at least you're able to get from 3 different climatic regions. So that is if you do Makueni, Thika, and Kilifi. But if you only do Makueni and Kilifi, you'll get warm semi-arid and tropical savanna. And maybe one paper that can come out is comparison of endophyte diversity in neem from the coastal region and tropical climate regions of Kenya. That's publication for those who want to do their PhD. That can be your first paper. Many universities just require that you publish 2 papers and they give you your title. And then you can, I heard someone saying that once they get the title, they make everybody call them using the title. Once you get it, you really don't care anymore. Before you get it, you will be, yes. Everybody must use it. After you get it, it becomes okay. Alright, that's it. Any question? Perfect. So according to our plan, which we are going to go back to, we are going to go to, today we're going to do DNA extraction. So for the is ready, and what is the time now? 9:30. So I think we set up rather than waste time.